Something explosive is happening inside the Trump administration right now, and it could land someone behind bars. The President of the United States just went on record saying he wants prison time for the person who leaked details of a highly classified military rescue operation. And the fallout from that statement is still shaking Washington to its core. Stay with us, because this story goes far deeper than most people realize. Welcome to Foxy Global News, your source for bold, unfiltered coverage of the stories that matter most. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now and ring the notification bell so you never miss a breaking report. We are just getting started on a story that is raising serious questions about loyalty, power, and the lengths this administration is willing to go to protect its secrets. Let's set the scene. The operation in question was a classified rescue mission. The kind of special forces action that takes months of planning, requires the highest levels of security clearance, and succeeds only when absolute secrecy is maintained. The details of who was rescued, where it happened, and which units were involved were supposed to stay locked inside the most protected compartments of the United States government. But before the operation was even fully wrapped up, before the operatives involved had fully returned to safety, those details started leaking out. Journalists had them. Social media began buzzing, and within hours, what should have been a tightly controlled classified success story had become a public news event, with sensitive operational details floating freely in the open. President Trump, upon learning about the leak, did not mince words. He told reporters, and later repeated in a formal statement, that whoever was responsible for leaking this information would face the full weight of the law. He made it explicitly clear that, in his view, this was not simply a case of bad judgment or a minor administrative overstep. He called it a betrayal. He used the word treason in casual conversation with advisors, according to multiple sources familiar with the discussions. And he vowed that the individual or individuals responsible would face jail time, not a fine, not a resignation, not a quiet reassignment. Jail. That level of public fury from a sitting president over an intelligence leak is rare, but it is not unprecedented in the Trump era. During his first term, Trump repeatedly railed against leakers and demanded that the Justice Department pursue criminal charges in several high-profile cases. What makes this moment different is the specific nature of the operation that was allegedly exposed. Rescue operations involving American personnel or foreign allies are among the most sensitive activities the U.S. military and intelligence community undertake. A leak during or immediately after such a mission does not just cause political embarrassment. It can endanger lives, burn intelligence sources, compromise safe houses, and alert adversaries to American capabilities and methods that took years to develop. The investigation launched in the wake of the leak is being described by insiders as one of the most aggressive leak hunts since the Edward Snowden era. The FBI, the National Security Agency's Counterintelligence Division, and the Pentagon's Inspector General are all said to be involved in some capacity. Investigators are reportedly working through an extremely small pool of individuals who had access to the specific details that were leaked. In the intelligence community, this kind of investigation is called a damage assessment combined with a leak attribution effort. And when presidential pressure is directly applied, these inquiries move fast, and they move hard. Several members of Congress have already weighed in on both sides of the debate. Republican senators who attended a classified briefing on the operation have come out firmly behind the president's position, arguing that the individual responsible crossed a clear legal and moral line. Democratic members, while generally also critical of unauthorized leaks, have raised due process concerns, pointing out that the president publicly prejudging a criminal case before any suspect has been identified or charged is itself a troubling precedent. Civil liberties organizations and First Amendment advocates are watching closely, concerned about what this aggressive rhetoric could mean for whistleblowers more broadly and for the journalists who received the leaked information. The legal framework for prosecuting intelligence leakers in the United States runs primarily through the Espionage Act of 1917, a law that is broad, powerful, and has been used with increasing frequency over the past 2 decades. Under the Espionage Act, transmitting national defense information to any unauthorized person, regardless of intent, can result in sentences of up to 10 years per count. The Trump administration's legal team is already said to be examining whether the leaked details of this rescue operation meet the threshold for an Espionage Act prosecution, which would be a major escalation compared to the more common approach of pursuing administrative punishments or lesser charges. Beyond the legal machinery, this story is also exposing deep tensions inside the national security apparatus itself. There is a well-established culture within certain parts of the intelligence community and among some senior military officials of communicating selectively with trusted journalists, sometimes to shape narratives, sometimes to protect institutional interests, and sometimes out of genuine conscience. Trump's war on leakers directly challenges that culture, and it puts career officials in an extraordinarily difficult position. The person who leaked this rescue mission information may have believed they were doing something in the public interest. They may have been acting on orders from someone above them. They may have been trying to undermine a political rival within the administration. Or they may have simply made a catastrophic error in judgment. The investigation will attempt to answer those questions, but the president has already decided what the answer should be. There is also an international dimension to this story that deserves attention. The country or region in which the rescue operation took place has not been officially confirmed, but reporting from multiple outlets suggests it involved a location where the United States has ongoing sensitive intelligence equities. Foreign governments that are either partners or adversaries of the United States will be watching this case closely. Allies want to know that sensitive joint operations will be protected. Adversaries are almost certainly already using the leaked information to reassess their own security posture and counterintelligence efforts. White House press secretary statements on the matter have been brief but pointed, reiterating that the president considers this leak a national security threat and that he expects the Justice Department to treat it with the full seriousness it deserves. Attorney General officials, while not confirming specific investigative steps, have not pushed back on the framing. That silence is itself significant. It suggests that the machinery of federal prosecution is at minimum being positioned to move if investigators find a viable target. What we are watching unfold right now is a collision between presidential authority, the classified intelligence system, First Amendment protections, and the raw politics of an administration that has made loyalty and secrecy two of its defining values. The outcome of this investigation, whether it produces charges, a prosecution, a conviction, or ultimately comes up empty, will have lasting consequences for how the United States government handles sensitive information, how it treats the people who work inside its most classified spaces, and how the press covers national security operations in an era of increasing executive aggression against leakers. One thing is clear. President Trump is not treating this as a routine matter. He is treating it as a declaration of war against whoever inside his government decided that the American people, or the world, had a right to know about this operation before he was ready to tell them. And in Washington right now, that declaration is being heard very loudly in every corner of the national security establishment. That is your full briefing on this rapidly developing story, right here on Foxy Global News. We will continue to follow every development as investigators close in on their target and as the legal and political battles surrounding this case intensify in the days and weeks ahead. If you found this report valuable, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more people find this channel and stay informed on the stories that the mainstream media often buries. Subscribe to Foxy Global News if you haven't already, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the leaker deserves jail time? Let us know where you stand. Until the next report, stay sharp, stay informed, and stay with Foxy Global News.